Well, I have known this young man for a lot of my life. I've had the blessed opportunity to grow up with you.
Yeah,
Um, and now we're getting the opportunity to grow old together as well, which
yeah,
is
it's a
very
blessing.
rare for a lot of
Rare,
people. And I
yeah,
thank God that I get to do it with you.
for sure,
We'll raise our families together, all that.
for sure.
We're here today because we are launching the Winning Point podcast,
Yeah,
which is an NFL podcast focused mainly on Ravens and Colts football, but talking about the NFL in general. We're a bunch of guys that grew up in Ghana, moved here in our formative years, fell in
Yeah.
love with the sport. The sport is getting global. It's There are a lot of African players, a lot of African representation. We have a
Yeah.
GM in Minnesota, and now I feel like it's time for some African voices to talk about football. And
Yeah.
here we have to start going. How you doing, my brother?
I'm good. How are you?
Doing great, doing great.
Glad to be here. It's a
yeah.
blessing.
Yeah, repping Mifri Ghana t-shirt.
I see
Repping
it.
my Ghana. Mifri Ghana means I'm from Ghana.
Yeah.
And Tony went with the ganja leaf logo, Adidas today. Respect.
Adidas, little
The classic
German, but we're
logo.
good.
Mhm.
Yeah. But I'm also from Ghana, so
Yeah,
yeah.
so
Yeah.
anyway, and we're here with our producer, Paul.
Shout out to Paul.
This is, in a sense, Paul's brainchild, and we're happy that we get to do it with you and go on this journey.
Absolutely.
Thank you for being a part of this.
Yeah.
All right. Falling in love with football. Tony, can you talk to me about how you fell in love with football?
So yeah, we'll give you a bit of a background of how we know each other and how we fell in love with football. We're originally from Ghana, as you guys have just been introduced to. We met in our early adolescence,
Yeah, like 12.
12-ish. Yeah.
We're in our 40s now, by the way.
Yeah, we're in our 40s.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, we met when we were around 12, had a bond. At the time, we were living in Ghana. Grew up there for a good chunk of our lives. At the time, football was not a thing. Ghana, we were exposed to American sports, of course. The dominant sport was football, as in soccer. We all loved that. But as far as American like folk and sports, we were more into basketball at the time. As a matter of fact, I played Little League in Ghana at the American Embassy those days. And so, like, I enjoyed playing baseball, but football to us was not a real sport. As a matter of fact, at the time, we thought football was an insult to football, which is soccer.
Yes.
But so when I fast forward to I moved to the United States in 96, and even then, I had pushback with the football sport of NFL/football. But when I grew up in, like, a lot of my friends and close, school friends especially, were big fans of football. So I didn't really get into it. So keep in mind, I'm here 96, 97 passes. I'm watching NBA. At this point, soccer is not a big thing in the United States, so I'm kind of removed. It's a little difficult not getting access to soccer. But, the NBA is there, so I fall in love with that. I'm watching that, following. And then around maybe 98-ish, people from a neighborhood, shout out to Round Hill, Silver Spring, Chevy Chase, they were having a pickup game in the back. And they were like, my friends were like, I think you have the potential to be a fine football player. You need to come out and figure out, play with us, and then play high school football.
Okay.
So, I don't know the rules, none of that. So I go in there, I do okay, and they're like, yeah, you need to play. And I'm like, nah. I still push back. And then finally I get access to video games.
Madden.
Yeah. So I start learning the rules a little bit, and then I see some of my friends at this point are now moving to varsity. So I go watch the games, and I see them playing. I'm like, this is actually kind of interesting. So I make it a point to start watching football.
Right.
So I start watching football maybe 98, 99. And I start seeing people like Edgerrin James. I'm like, damn, this guy's good. He's supposed to be a rookie. He's fresh. He's different. Got gold teeth, locks, different guy. He's expressive. Killing the league his first year. Peyton Manning looking like at this point I had seen Varsity Blues, looking like James Vanderbeek. Looks like a young James Vanderbeek. I'm like, okay, this team looks like something they're young, they're not quite there yet, but they have the potential. I'm gonna start following them a bit, and it just kind of takes off from there. And I play senior year of high school. Obviously, I didn't play much, but I got a feel of it. I learned the rules, and then I just never looked back. And then
wait, so you fell in love with football by playing? Playing is how you got into it initially.
Yes.
Okay.
So like actually playing backyard. So the rules still weren't quite fully implemented, but you get an idea.
Right.
And it was fun. You're playing with your friends, your brothers. And that's kind of how I got introduced. And I'm like, you know what? I'm not going to throw shade on this sport like traditionally is in Ghana. So that's kind of how it took off. And then like all my close brothers, a lot of them, they were big fans of football. And they kind of got me into. And one thing about me, as you know, I like whatever I get into, I like to know the history of. So I start going back.
You're a history buff.
I start going back to watch some of the old people that paved the way and like.
With Barry Sanders.
Yeah,
and all
exactly.
That. I remember you talked about that.
You see how it evolves as well, so you appreciate the gutter years of football to how it kind of smoothens, refines out to be. And I just became what I call the student of the game.
There you go.
So, and then I fall in love, and then you move here.
Oh, my God.
Tell me your story.
So, I get here in the summer of 2003.
Yeah.
I come here for undergrad. And I go to visit my friend who I grew up in Ghana with, and it's Sunday morning. We come back from church, and he's on his computer watching diagrams is the best way I can describe it. Because this wasn't video. It wasn't a game. It was the ESPN diagrams back in the day when you don't have the game in your local area.
I think we're
and
barely,
then you have to watch.
We're even using dial-up at this time.
It was dial-up too at the time. And he had the car. This was where he was from. So I'm like, yo, can we go out and find girls? But this guy's like, no, I got to pay attention to this Colts game first. And it used to drive me crazy. But again, he had the car, so I had to wait. And I just got more interested into like, why is he so into this? I started paying attention a little bit. And then, in the morning when I'm watching the TV, I'll see a highlight. I'll be like, oh, this is the stuff Della's been watching. There you go. And I kind of started getting to it. Then we went to play a game with some of your friends in College Park one time. A pickup game in the backyard football thing. And somebody says to me, run a go route. And I go, okay. Then I line up, and in my head, I'm like, I have no idea what this guy just said. So they go, ha, snap, and I just take off running. And I turn, and the ball comes, and I catch it. I was like, oh. And he's like, good go route. I was like, I guess that's a go route. I had no idea. But then I got more excited about the football, and then I started paying more attention to it. And then in about 2008, I got Madden. Yeah. And that's when it went crazy. I started playing Madden every night, down with college. We're hanging out as, unemployed with nothing to do. You don't have money, so all you do is stay at home and play the video games. And I played a lot of Madden. I actually got really good, and I learned the rules through Madden. I fell more in love with the game. But I also, in 2000, I remember seeing an article about the Baltimore Ravens, 2000 Baltimore Ravens that had just won the Super Bowl with a guy named Ray Lewis who almost went to jail for life because of some murder stuff. And I was like, this is interesting. But I saw him, and I liked his fire. Ray Lewis was just this fiery guy. And if you know me, I am a very expressive individual. Yeah. So, he spoke to me. Yeah. Putting it mildly, So he spoke to me. And that got me excited about the Ravens, and I started paying attention to them more. And then when I came here, so the Ravens are there, and then it's more the local team because we live in Maryland. So my first game you and I go to was a Colts Ravens game, and then we got to see everything. We saw Peyton Manning throw unbelievable touchdowns to Dallas Clark for a 100 catch. We saw Ed Reed catch an interception. We saw Ray Lewis make a hell of a tackle. We saw a running back juke, even though the Colts won that game. We saw everything you get to see in a football game, and I was like, I'm sold. This is it. This is what I want to watch. I want to pay attention, and I've loved it ever since. Yeah. And that's how we got into football. Yeah. Yeah.
Amazing.
How's that sound, Paul?
Sounds great, man. Sounds great. Yeah, no, I love that story. Yeah. It's what's funny is, or not funny, but it's interesting. Y'all both mentioned video games as like kind of an introduction. Yeah. Like I really got into it when I could play the game, learn the routes maybe, and maybe that kind of taught you. That's kind of interesting.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Because I wasn't lighting up on any field because my mother would kill me if she found out I was getting hit like that.
Yeah.
So yeah, but the video games also got us there, and we also grew up playing video games, which was frowned upon at that
when
time.
We're younger, yeah.
Now it's a money maker, but hey,
if we only knew earlier.
If we knew, we would have sharpened our skills a little better.
Yeah.
But anyway, so can we get into this?
Let's go
today.
Let's go.
All right. We've talked about growing up. Now let's talk about how, as a bunch of kids who grew up in Ghana and lived our formative years in America, how football is now a global game, and that allows some of us the opportunity to talk about it and create some sort of enjoyment from it.
Yeah.
So now we talk about the Olympics, how flag football is now an Olympic sport and it's picking up. So because of that, flag style competitions are all over the world, all over Africa. There's some in Ghana and Nigeria and South Africa, and everybody's excited about it. And a lot of these NFL players that have roots from back home are hosting camps. And the Ravens have these 3 Nigerian players, Odafe Owe, Nnamdi Madabuike, and David Ojabo, and they hosted a camp in Nigeria. And the Ravens media crew went with them and shot an episode there. And it's just beautiful seeing how much the sport has grown. A lot of the kids there knew some of the rules already. They understood, route running and how to catch, eyeball, ball, hand-eye coordination and how to catch the ball and all that. And it was very exciting to see. And then there was even a kid that had a nice spiral. They were calling African Lamar. And that was unbelievable to see. And they got to wear their African garbs, which, I love to wear my African garbs. So that was beautiful to see, some traditional dancing and everything. Yeah. So that was exciting. I enjoyed that. And then you want to talk to us a little bit about flag football and how it's growing up in Ghana?
Yeah. Like you said, it's very global. And it's all over Africa now. It's continuously growing, not quite where it needs to be, but it's growing significantly. If you guys didn't know, the African home, country for the Philadelphia Eagles is Ghana. Mm-hmm. So a lot of their ads and representation in that continent is staged in Ghana. Mm-hmm. If you guys were familiar with the Super Bowl, there was a commercial, I don't think it was this year, it was the year before, where Saquon Barkley's running through a market area, and that is actually in Ghana, Makala Makala.
I saw that.
Yep.
I saw that. Yeah, they shot a commercial. Yeah.
That was through the Eagles.
Right.
Actually, it was last year.
It was last year.
Saquon was on the team. That was last year. So because of that, it has opened doors also to flag football, which has picked up a bit in Ghana. Even from the outside in, there was actually a tournament, an African tournament that was staged in Egypt, where a couple of African countries, I'm not sure all of them, but I know Nigeria was victorious in that tournament. Unfortunately, Ghana was not able to partake in that tournament. There's a little bit of an issue with the foundation, the Flag Foundation, and I think right now there is an issue with them having 2 of them instead of 1. So we need to kind of work on that to kind of reel it in, because we're still in developmental stages. Outside of that, there's a lot of different flag football teams there, and now they're expanding into different opportunities. I know now, because of the education system, a lot of the potential talent is now registering with schools that align with the UK education system, so they can kind of tap into the league through the NFL UK.
Okay.
As opposed to here, because Ghana's education is more
British system.
Than the US, so it's a little bit harder for them to transition here. So that's a route that a lot of them are going to. Also,
do you mean, just to be clear, are you talking about flag football for as a sport in high school or something, or what are we talking about here?
When it comes to the actual UK transition, it's actually more so transitioning to actually play pads.
Oh.
Yes, more so than flag. The flag still kind of stays local.
Right.
Because it's now a Olympic sport.
Right. Yeah.
You're starting to see an influx of camps starting to pick up. Down to, shout out to Jude, who I worked with to get this information. There's even recently he's establishing a new flag football team for girls, for women, which they are hosting tryout camp later on this month in August. So that should be interesting. He's teaming up with a female, I forget her name, but she is the face of the team. So she's going to promote as when it's all said and done. The drawback, however, as of now is, unfortunately, in the Olympics, we only have one African team in the flag football team,
there's only one slot.
which kind of sucks because it's like 56 nations, and Africa only has one. But
it's
like,
the first one.
Yeah, so we'll see how that. We don't know how that's going to play out.
Right.
My guess is because Nigeria won that tournament,
they're probably
favored to go in. But we'll see if they have a qualifying type of thing going on. But yeah, that's the gist of it. The camps are starting to pick up. There's individual talents starting to emerge out of that with flags. So I'm very excited to see which direction it heads to or leads to. But yeah, it's picking up in the continent. And like you said, Ojabo and a few others represent Nigeria. Yeah. I think in Ghana it's JOK, and then Asamoah from the Vikings. Yeah. Those are the main faces, but I think they're also trying to bring in some of the old retirees like
Tambahali
and Joseph Adai is another
Kiwanuka,
one. Ansah,
Osa,
Osi Umenyiora. So they're all kind of getting involved, and like you said, like you start to see, hopefully JOK recovers to return back to the game. Yeah. But you see them coming into the stadium with their garb, their traditional, showing some pride, and then giving a light of the culture in the league. So hopefully that continues. If unfortunately for any circumstance he's not able to make it, the others follow that trend, so that they bring awareness to the culture.
A little. I don't know if I want to call it humble brag or rub his shoulders, but Ezekiel Ansah from the Detroit Lions was picked top 5. Yeah. Ezekiel Ansah and I went to the same high school in Ghana. Different times, obviously, because I'm like 5 million years older than him. But that's my little claim to fame. I went to the same high school as Ezekiel Ansah.
He was a problem in the league. Unfortunately, injuries.
Very raw, but. He was a problem. Injuries kind of derailed his career.
Yeah. So wait, you went to the same high school with this guy, and he's in the NFL now?
No, he was a top 5 pick. He's not in the NFL anymore.
Oh, yeah. But he lived in Ghana.
Yes.
Went to the same high school as you.
Yes. Came to BYU to play basketball. Didn't make the team, and then the football coach called him to become a D end. And next year,
took it off the Lions.
He took off 2 years of playing in college. 5th overall pick to Detroit Lions. Actually, made a second contract. Yeah. Yeah, very impressive stuff. Yeah. But injuries kind of derailed his career. Yeah. Anyway, so we've talked about our background. We've talked about the connection to the NFL and Africa, flag football, the Olympics, everything. Now, let's get into some actual NFL football. Yep. I am a Ravens fan, so a lot of my stuff is Ravens heavy, AFC North heavy, but we talk about the entire league. Tony, who are you representing today?
Indianapolis Colts. Shout out to the Horseshoe.
There's not a lot of bass in your voice. Is there a reason for that? You're not feeling very confident about the Colts right now? Anyway,
we'll see.
We'll get to it. We'll see. So let's do a little look back on last season and kind of prepare ourselves for this season. Anyway, this is being shot in the early in training camp. Yeah. So games haven't started. Preseason game 1 is in a few days. It's actually Ravens Colts. We're trying to get to that. But that's how early this is. So a lot of the stuff we say a week or 2 or a month from now might sound like, what the hell were these idiots talking about? Or like, oh, these guys are prophets. We'll find out. But I'm absolutely buzzing. I'm very excited to talk about some football, talk about some NFL football. Yeah. Tell me about the Colts from last season and where you are right now.
So we finished 8-9 last season. Rough end to the season. I think from the top to the bottom, even from management, Colts GM Chris Ballard approached last season with run it again. Based on how we finished, we barely missed the playoffs the previous season, and we were banking on Anthony Richardson to fill a lot of holes that we had in the roster coming in, being more or less a savior, which was pretty unfair because he was still a raw talent. And I think it played out as the season went on, that he still wasn't quite there, finishing with one of the lowest pass percentages, completion percentages in the league. And we had disturbing quarterback play, and then things started to...
How did you feel about the head tap?
Things started to... things started to surface about his professionalism, which was a bit unfortunate. I think that caught the team by surprise, which is a little interesting that they didn't know that from before. But his approach to the game was very, very lackluster, considering the amount of responsibility that was placed upon his shoulders based on when he was picked. So coming into this season, they took a step back and tried to, address this approach to professionalism, and kind of point out to him that this is a privilege and an honor to be early pick and a franchise quarterback. And at the beginning, I was a little bit skeptical about the approach by signing Daniel Jones because it didn't make sense based on what I had seen in the past in football. But ironically, it's so far so good as bringing out the best in Anthony Richardson in camp. There's strides of improvement in his completion, his decision making, and his approach to the game, down to the point where his teammates are excited and more like buying into him.
Okay.
Shout out, unfortunately for Daniel Jones, the sentiment is not the same towards him, but they're almost neck to neck. But obviously, Anthony Richardson is a talent much higher.
He has a higher upside, higher ceiling.
So like,
but his floor is also a little lower.
It's a little lower, exactly. But where we've been in quarterback limbo since Andrew Luck had retired, and we have been in limbo for the last 3 seasons. So we've been finishing like that 8-8 type of 8-9,
right.
Barely missing the playoffs. And to be fair, Chris Ballard has addressed a lot of his flaws from last season.
Right.
Even though this is a big season for him as far as his job security. Rest in peace, Jim Irsay, who just passed away. His daughters have taken over the organization. So we're curious to see how things change with them on the management.
But sorry to interject, but you and I have talked about this a few times offline, and you did mention that their daughters have kind of been running things in the background for a little while now. So this is not like baptism by fire for them.
No.
They've been working on. They've been doing this.
Yeah, they've been
so
working.
now talk to me about this headset controversy thing that happened like a few months ago with one of the daughters on the sideline with a headset. I thought that was awkward. Can I give you my little 2 cents about that?
Yeah, go ahead.
So Jim Irsay has just passed.
Yeah,
the team is in quarterback limbo, purgatory, for lack of a better term.
Yeah.
I feel like there are bigger issues with the team than that. So I thought it was weird to see her do that. And then when they asked her about it, her comment was, well, sometimes you want to know if, the person calling the place is full of shit. And I was like, that is weird because Shane Steigen's not a new hire.
No, he's not.
Been around. And I've never heard from any Colts fan that coaching is your issue. Like, everybody understands that Steichen knows his stuff. He just needs the talent to get it together. And so does your GM. Ballard also knows his stuff.
He's good.
Ballard. He's jacked, man. Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, he's been benching.
You could tell.
Yeah,
he was sitting there like, don't ask me dumb questions or I will beat you.
Yeah.
But anyway, so I thought it was weird that she said that because the problem is not play calling. The problem doesn't seem like it's coaching. Yeah. And then to add to that, it's with everything that's going on with your team, with your dad just passing, and the team is in limbo with a lot of things. I thought that attention was kind of weird to draw to yourself. But tell me more about that.
So she has been like you guys just recently found out. She's been on the sideline for the last 2-3 seasons. She's been doing this for a while just to kind of get a feel. And I think she was prepping for the time where she eventually takes over, because obviously her dad's health has been up in arms for a couple of years before his passing. Rest in peace yet again. But everybody has their own different style of managing. And so this was her way of getting to know hands-on what is going on the field, as opposed to sitting in the stands. Whereas her dad learned through his dad, because he was on the field when his dad was running. So she was doing this. I think what happened with that is she's also still kind of green when it comes to media. So that's the way she approached it was a bit because the players are very comfortable with her around.
I'm sure.
Last season, I think there was Steichen, as far as an X and O's type of guy and knowing the game. He's great.
He is.
I think last season there were flaws in management as far as player management, managing ethics, the locker room type of thing.
Yeah.
There was a bit of a learning curve for him.
Gotcha.
So like I think this season is approaching it a little different. We'll see how it plays out.
Gotcha.
So this is one of the things I'm looking out for this season to see if it's changed. But yeah, I'm curious to see how, even though the daughters were still, in managerial roles for the last 3 years, they were still under their dad.
Of course.
So he always had the final say. Now it's on them.
Yeah.
So obviously, I think there will be changes. What that looks like, we're about to find out.
That's good.
So that
Can we pause for a second? What are we talking about with the headset? I'm still.
Yeah,
I want to
so
inform people, because we're kind of talking in vague generalities.
Sorry, we're assuming people are watching.
What happened?
So during the season,
it wasn't during the season. It was just this off season. During
I'm talking about her wearing the headset. She wore it during the whole season. She was actually
gotcha.
Yeah, so during I think the last 2 seasons, she's been on the sideline with a headset.
Yeah,
listening to the play calls, listening to how things play out during the game,
right?
Which is unorthodox for an owner.
Yeah.
So she was actually picking all that up and kind of learning along the way and seeing, are they actually doing their due diligence on the field?
Gotcha.
Because clearly we're not where we need to be.
But
so this is her way of
being called,
this is her way of seeing what is really going on.
All right. So what made it a controversy was that somebody asked her about it, like, what's up with the headset? And her response, normal response would probably be, oh, I just want to know what's going on. Just, curious, I'm learning. But she goes, well, you want to know if the person calling the place is full of shit or not. Yeah. And everyone was like, wait, where did that come from? So that's kind of what it is. Yeah. But it's no big deal. It's been past. It's off season. There were no games. So people were looking for things to talk about.
Yeah.
Anyway, so what is a successful season for you as a Colts fan? Start with, who do you want as your quarterback?
Anthony Richardson. I think we know who Daniel Jones is at this point. He's been in the league for 6 years. We know who he is. At this point, the demons are there. The flashes are there. He's not going to change much. Whereas Richardson is he's still in development. So we need to know who we're dealing with. So I'd rather have him start and know what we're dealing with if we need to clean slate and start again. Gotcha. I feel like this year Ballard has done his due diligence to build a good the roster is good.
Very good
roster. It is a competitive roster. The only difference now is, will the quarterback do what he needs to do to keep us going? And for me, a successful season for the Colts is a continuous, consistent, competitive team, disciplined team, which in the last season was not always there. And within the division we're in, a playoff berth is a successful season this year.
You think you can make a playoff in the AFC?
South? Without
the South, you have to win to make a playoff.
Yeah.
You think you can win the South?
Yeah, the South. Look. Last year, as bad as we played,
ambitious.
As bad as we played, the Texans, with all they had, didn't play much better.
Good point.
They didn't play much better.
Good point.
So
they lost their top 2 wide receivers, and their third was in and out. Their offensive line couldn't protect Stroud to save his life.
We know their quarterback is legit, but
we know he's good.
He's legit. So I think he's legit. They didn't do their due diligence to protect him last year, and I think that came out. He's still young, so that came out. But I think he's a legit quarterback. The thing is, even as bad as the division was, they still struggled to win it. True. And I think with the roster that we have, with good quarterback play, we are up there with them. I think roster wise, we go toe to toe. The difference is the quarterback.
Okay.
So I think we can,
So a successful season, a high successful season will be a playoff berth. A low successful season is continued growth with AR.
And being competitive,
your quarterback,
not just
not just getting blown out. Yeah. You're not just like a dub for a team.
Even last year, a lot of our games were close, but my eye test told me we're not a good team. Yeah. We're not playing well. There are games that we lost by one score game. Right. But the context, you watch the game to see if they're a good team, and I don't think we were very competitive last year. There were too many flaws, and I think for me this year, how we play these games determines where we're going,
Gotcha.
So that, to me, that's a successful a successful season. So we'll see. And I'm wishing all the best to Anthony Richardson. He's doing pretty well in camp, but I've with my tenure watching football, I think I've seen just about everything. So I'm not like I've seen this before. So I'm not getting ahead of myself. But it's encouraging.
Man.
It's encouraging.
How the mighty have fallen.
It's encouraging.
I remember barely 10 years ago when this time in the season you are talking about playoffs with Peyton Manning. That's how he used to talk to us.
First ballot Hall of Fame. It is what it is.
I'm not kidding. At this time in the season, he will be talking about
going against Tom Brady.
Going against Tom Brady in AFC division, playoff games. And I'm sitting there with my Ravens defense and a quarterback who's going to be gone tomorrow. And I'm like, I can't relate to these stories.
Yeah. You where we are.
Now, let's talk about the Baltimore Ravens.
Yeah, you where we are back then.
So I have coined a phrase for how the Ravens make me feel. And I call it positive depression. Because the regular season at this point, we can sleepwalk through. First of all, let's talk about last season. Yeah. Lamar Jackson, in my opinion, my very humble opinion, not so humble, but my opinion, is one of the greatest quarterbacks I have ever seen. One of the best at the position. And what makes him more impressive to me is people didn't believe this kid should play quarterback.
Exactly.
At all. Not, he's a quarterback and no. They didn't believe he should play the position at all.
No.
And we saw this boy grow up. We saw him in his first year just running around, throwing errant passes, just no O-line. Then he got an offensive coordinator who's a run-heavy guy, made him put on all this weight, and he was running, then getting hurt. And then we finally got an actual play call on offensive design and not just a run-heavy guy in Todd Monken. Yeah. And Lamar Jackson just became this unbelievable, unstoppable force of nature. Yeah. He is the ultimate weapon. To throw for 4,000 yards and run for almost 1,000 yards in the same season.
It's crazy.
When Derrick Henry just ran for 1,900. The two of them ran for almost 3,000 yards.
Yeah,
that is crazy.
What we saw last season was crazy.
And the fact that it's possible that he could get even better is very exciting. Yeah. But now our question in Baltimore is, how do we get through the hump of the playoffs? How do we get through the playoffs? How do we not get tight? How do we maintain our composure and do what we've done all season?
Yeah.
Because there's not a single game I could point out and say, this team absolutely beat us.
Yeah.
Every game was like, Baltimore made mistakes, or we were in the game, or we just didn't show up today. And when we won, we won. It was a convincing game. And we have gotten even better. Believe it or not, I believe is the best roster the Baltimore Ravens have ever had.
I agree.
Since 96.
I agree.
The defense is loaded at every position. Offense is loaded at every position. Even if injuries happen, there's going to have to be a lot of injuries for it to affect the depth chart. I was watching, the Ravens have a series called Wired where they follow players with microphones and all that. Yeah. And I was watching the episode, and the first episode had the part about the Nigerian guys going to host the camp. Second part was about Derrick Henry working out. It's insane what that boy does.
I've seen segments
it's
of
insane.
That.
But the third part, which I want to talk about, was Tylan Wallace, who's a receiver in the Baltimore Ravens. Tylan Wallace is about 5th or 6th on the depth chart right now.
Is that the twitchy guy?
No. Tylan Wallace was drafted in the same year as, I think, Rashad Bateman.
Oh,
but
he's low
on the depth chart.
Twitchy guy came this year, I think. But go ahead.
Yeah. So, Webster. Webster is a rookie now. Yeah, he's the kid from the Colorado Buffaloes. Yeah, he's a rookie now. No, that's not him. Tylan Wallace. So, Tylan Wallace he's a twin, and he's playing golf with his twin brother, and he's talking about this season and how he's excited and how the team has all the dogs and everything. And then at one point he stops and he talks about, man, right now I'm in it, so I don't think about it. But then one day I get to tell my kids I caught passes from Lamar Jackson. Yeah. I still hold the record for Lamar Jackson's longest touchdown pass, and I was on teams with Derrick Henry, surefire Hall of Famers. I got to tell my kids
studs.
That. And then he wipes his face, because I don't know if it's a tear or sweat or whatever. I don't want to assume, but he wipes his face in a bit of an emotional way. Yeah. And he go and then that got me thinking, is he reminiscing for the future about how he's going to be in his old age telling these proud stories? Or is he seeing that it's not looking good for him to make the team this season? Because it's not looking for, and he's still
loaded.
But he's still so locked in that even with all that, he's still very excited for the team, because the team is just incredibly loaded. The players know it. Every interview they're talking about Super Bowl. They're not shying away from it.
Of course.
They're talking about it because that's the kind of team we have.
Yeah.
Now we just got to get through the hump.
Yeah.
Now, talking about going into the future, the AFC has some of the greatest quarterbacks I have ever seen in my time watching football. Mahomes, Allen, Burrow, Jackson. Then you can even talk about these upcoming kids, the kids that haven't really fully reached their potential, like Justin Herbert, who still has a lot of potential. Yeah. Even Mr. Handsome from Jacksonville.
Oh,
unbelievably talented. Lawrence.
Yeah,
Lawrence is. I think these kids have the potential to make the AFC even more choked. If AR gets it together, that's another weapon that can be a problem. And it's exciting paying attention to all of this. But ultimately, tying this all back to the Ravens, I'm excited to see what Lamar Jackson does this season. I'm excited to see what the team looks like this season, how much better he can get. As the other guys are also getting better, because there's a revenge tour on the mind of the guys in Kansas City. Buffalo feels robbed as well. They're also very upset they're coming. The Bengals have signed their offensive weapons, and now they're ready to score 40 points on everybody. Can their defense stop anybody? We're going to find out.
Yeah.
But the soap opera of the NFL begins now, and I'm excited for all of it. Yeah.
No, I agree. I think my take on the Ravens, I think you're at that point where you're like now a well-oiled machine. I guess a good way to explain it for the video game players, ones that played in the late 90s, early 2000s, when you get the video game, there are certain teams like the Niners, the Denver Broncos, the Green Bay Packers, where they're like 98. So they're all contenders, stacked rosters. You're now at the point where like you minimize mistakes, the discipline, the element of luck, because there's an element of luck, regardless of how you slice it. Like, does it all go your way? And then from there, we find out. Because at this point, it's like there's not many flaws, and if there are any, there are not many flaws on the team. It's more so, are all the things going to fall your way?
So for guidance purposes,
lack of injuries, of course, that's a big thing.
To that, fingers crossed. Knock on wood. So. Just for guidance, you have been where I am right now with Peyton Manning and the good old days.
Yeah.
How did you get through these emotionally crushing times? Because it really like, I'm like yelling at my kids. I'm like not talking to people. I'm not picking up my phone calls. Like it really crushes you, because you look at the team and you're like, how did you not get over the hump?
I'm going to keep it real. In 2005, that was the best Colts roster I've ever seen. Right. Well, I think we have better rosters now. We just don't have that immaculate. Well, that's a discussion for later. But that 2005 team was serious. Team, and then we lost to Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
And I gave up. I thought, if we're not going to win the Super Bowl with this team,
you cannot do it anywhere.
And then the following year we win it.
Yeah.
And I wasn't expecting it. So, like, yeah, it's one of those things, like, you might go through a season where like your expectations are not met, and then like I said, all those elements that kind of go your way, and then you just win it.
I mean, it helps if you're playing a Super Bowl against Rex Grossman. Like
but getting there, we played the Patriots, we played you guys, we played Kansas City at the time, which was high scoring. We beat them all.
Yeah.
So like Roseman was like the cherry on the top.
Yeah.
You know, they had an easier way to get to it. We went through the dogs, you know.
That, funny enough, that reminds me of the Ravens 2012 Super Bowl, and that Flacco that we saw in that Super Bowl run, 11 TDs, no interceptions, just
came out of nowhere.
His mind. And then I'm thinking, now we signed this guy, and this is what we're gonna get going forward.
Yeah.
And he just went back to me.
Exactly. So like that's kind of how I have been groomed in the NFL. Like, there's always optimism, but like there's also tempering your emotions. But trust me, when the game starts, you're a fan.
Absolutely.
But like afterwards, you come back to rationale. Yeah. You know what I mean? So like even in 2009, when we went to the Super Bowl and lost to the Saints, we weren't a very good team. But Peyton Manning literally put the team on his back and took us to the Super Bowl. Should have won that Super Bowl.
And the Saints even needed trickery to get
exactly. Should have won that Super Bowl, but we didn't. So like it's one of those things.
Shout out to 80, man.
Yeah, exactly. What
was his name? Hank Basket.
Hank
Basket, man. So Hank Basket, they had an onside kick.
Yeah, terrible at the half.
Basket missed the catch.
Yeah, and then they got the ball, and then the momentum switched.
That was it.
Yeah, so like I think you guys are where you need to be as far as.
But my thing is, there are so many teams like that right now.
Yeah.
So it's just a hard climb, because if like you are the team, like everybody says, and then you get to the top, it gets choked because you have dogs.
It's always like
you
that.
You have dogs at the top all waiting, and all of them are just as hungry as you.
It's always like that. Like when you're up
Josh
there,
Allen.
Yeah, it's always like that. When you're up there, there's at least 2 or 3 other teams,
and
they're
there. They're just
which is
right
why
there.
I'm saying
deserving.
You are where you're supposed to be. It's now the intangibles that have to come into place.
Oh my God, we need all.
So
we can get.
Hopefully, like that comes through, and then once it comes through and you win it, it becomes like second nature. Oil machine, a la New England Patriots, Brady, Belichick era. If you can get there, then you build historical landmark type things.
Right.
So I'm not worried about you as far as where you need to be. Like you've improved the roster. Last year, your secondary was a bit iffy, but I think you fixed that. Whether it was injuries or added extra talent with Zaire.
Yeah. We added Zaire. We added D-Hop.
Exact. D-Hop was an added veteran that still can play. Some of the rookies from last year, Devontae Walker, are gonna go up. Exactly.
So I'm excited. I'm
you guys. I really like Lamar. Trust me, I do.
I love that kid, man.
I wish him the best.
Yeah.
The sky's the limit. We'll see how it plays out. Should be an interesting season. Preseason coming up. We play each other, ironically.
We're gonna try and go to that.
The original Colts. Coming back
to the new Colts. They're coming back home.
The original Colts coming back home. The
landlords are coming to see if we're paying rent and taking care of the rat problem. All right.
So we're working on getting there. We should be at that game just to see where our teams are respectively going into the season. First preseason game. So
is there anything else like around the league that you're interested in or you're paying attention to right now?
Of course. The NFC East is always an interesting thing to look at.
My God. The dramatic NFC East,
it's
man.
always,
So I have a question.
Yeah.
When is, at this point, it's a rhetorical question because the answer is never. But when is Jerry Jones going to, when is he going to, evolve to being a GM that relates to the players? Because I feel like people, no matter the iteration of player we have, the style of player, the intellect of player we have, Jerry Jones is still the same Jerry Jones, and he still talks to them like they're idiots. And I don't understand that, because you have I'll use the Micah thing as an example. Sorry, you said you want to talk about NFCs, but I just wanted to make this point.
It is part of the NFC. So go ahead. Yeah.
Micah Parsons in Micah Parsons' lifetime is possibly the best Cowboys player in his lifetime. Offense and defense combined. Yeah. And you are telling me that this is the greatest talent you've had in 30 years and you're struggling to pay him? What are we doing? What is the goal here? I know they do this every year, but at some point it gets ridiculous.
The team is managed poorly, and it's been like that for a couple of years. They allocate money to the wrong assets, and now they're strapped for cash. They can make things move, but then how competitive will they be down the line? If they make things move, there'll be a lot of dead money, which means they can't sign players to fill certain holes. So they dig themselves in these graves. But it goes back to your point. Well. They do, but they allocate the money poorly. There's no reason to pay 2 wide receivers top money and then pay your quarterback, wait so long to pay your quarterback, and then now all your money is in 3 players and then maybe 1 offensive line. So now they have a generational talent that they're struggling to pay, and Jerry Jones is not dynamic. I don't think he can change. I think he's too old to change. He's not a dynamic GM, and his son is not much better. So they need to hire. They need to go back to the old formula where they had Jimmy Johnson.
Right.
The problem is when those people are also very dialed in. So when they want to do certain things that don't align with Jerry Jones, he wants
bump heads.
Yeah, and then they end up leaving. Same thing with the last really competent coach / GM they had was Bill Parcells, and that they had a streak of good players like DeMarcus Ware. They looked like they were on the upside, and then he started butting heads with.
Wasn't that here? He had the famous line you can't they can't ask you to cook the meal if they don't.
Thank you. Exactly. So he had to walk, just Jimmy Johnson did in the 90s.
Yeah.
Until that changes, It's just a lot of PR and marketing that's going to keep the Cowboys relevant, not actual performance.
Anything else in the East do you want to talk about?
The Commanders, of course.
The Commies.
It looks like they're moving back to DC on the stadium front, so that should be cool. But the Terry McLaurin holdout / trade request is interesting because I just recently saw that they are looking to. The rumor is they want to switch him and what's the dude in Miami, the short guy, number 10, Tyreek. They want to do a switch trade type of thing.
Oh,
so
I don't know.
Yeah, I
don't know how that's gonna work because
I don't know.
Tyreek needs a distraction of winning,
right,
to be cool.
And I don't think
if you don't have the distraction of winning for Tyreek, he's going to be a grenade in your house.
Exactly.
He's going to be a nightmare.
I don't think we need that with a developing good quarterback.
You don't need that with need that with a rookie quarterback that just had one of the best rookie seasons we've ever seen. He went to the NFC Championship game.
Exactly. And they look like they're stable. They have a solid foundation.
Right.
Just have to improve upon it.
They don't want
we'll see though. I mean, that's what the NFC is all about. Obviously.
There's so much drama in
so much drama
in the NFC. It's always dramatic in the NFC, I tell you.
Big facts.
I love it though.
Big facts.
The Eagles are just on the
Eagles are just there, ready to go.
Level.
Ready to go again.
Oh
ready to go again. The Giants look like a fun team to watch. I don't know how they'll play out competitively, but offensively I think they'll be fun to watch.
I hate to be that guy, but I don't like to talk about teams that don't have a quarterback to begin with. Like what's the point?
I think Russell will be okay with if their
Russell's not gonna be anything.
If their offensive line is okay. He's like with Aaron Rodgers, he's at the point where he needs a line. The line is good, those guys can still play. The line is good, but I'm not sure if the line is good.
You're an optimist. Thank you. As you were saying about the Washington Commanders, they expect them to have the stadium completed by 2030.
Yeah.
So that's another 5 years or so before they can move a retractable roof. Oh,
that's the norm now. That's the norm now.
I thought the president asked them to change their name, or he won't let them back in DC or
Trump says a lot of things though.
But anyway, so that actually ties into what I'm actually paying attention to, especially going forward for this season. I'm paying attention to the second-year quarterbacks.
Oh, that's a good one.
There was a very impressive class of quarterbacks last year.
Yeah.
And I'm very excited to see what they do in year 2. I think all of them are under pressure to perform the same or better, except for Bo Nix. And I believe, I'm going to say this right now, this is a Winning Podcast first prediction of 2025 and going forward. I believe for the next 4, 5, 6 years, Bo Nix is going to be a top 10 quarterback in the NFL. Because
who are all the second-year quarterbacks?
The second-year quarterbacks are we have Caleb Williams, Jaden Daniels, Drake May, J.J. McCarthy, Bo Nix, and Michael Penix. And I'll talk about each of them a little individually. But first, let me finish, waxing poetically about Bo Nix, who's one of my favorite quarterbacks to watch. Bo Nix is a football player. That's it.
Facts.
There is Bo Nix is not on social media trying to figure out life.
Like the Andrew Luck mode.
He just wants to play football, and you can tell by how his buzz cut from his hair to everything. Like you can see under his helmet, he's just like, "Can we just get to the game? Can we just snap this ball? Can I just throw this ball?" And when I knew this boy was something special was when they came to Baltimore last year, in his rookie year, and they did a Philly special type pass, and Bo Nix lost a safety, a Pro Bowl safety at that. For a catch.
Yeah.
The quarterback lost the Pro Bowl safety for a catch for their only touchdown of the game. And I was like, this boy is going to be a problem. So I don't believe Bo Nix is under pressure because he also has Sean Payton,
Sean Payton believes he's going to be a top 3 or 4 quarterback in the next 3 years.
Yeah. And I can see it. That is a little reachy if somebody doesn't get hurt or somebody doesn't do with injuries. But I can see it. But the other second-year quarterback, Michael Penix, has one hell of an arm.
Yeah,
and he has the body and he can run, so he's going to be better than Kirk Cousins was in Atlanta. So at least that's already a push up. Let's just see if he can consistently move the offense. And I believe that he's finally going to turn my guy Kyle Pigeon-Toed Pitts into the superstar that he really is. for some reason, they can't seem to get Kyle Pitts going in
I
Atlanta.
think he's going to get traded next year. I think he's going to get traded next year. If
he doesn't ball, absolutely. He might even get released if he get traded.
Nah, they'll get value for him.
Yeah, a fifth round pick. Yeah, he was a top 6 pick or something like that.
Yeah,
right? Anyway, so he's going to get pigeon-toed Pitts going. So I'm excited to see what Penix looks like, but he's under a little bit of pressure because they've given him the team. And his backup is making $40 million a year. That's pressure. I don't care who you are. That's pressure. Wild. Then we go to Drake May. They just upgraded his coaching staff. They upgraded his wide receiver core. They upgraded the team. So Drake May should be better. Drake May just got Josh McDaniels as an offensive coordinator. We know what Josh McDaniels has done. He's not a great as a head coach, but as an OC, he's the man.
I think he's going to be a very good quarterback.
Thank you.
Drake May. I have a feeling he's going to be a good quarterback.
Exactly. So that's another person I'm looking forward to seeing him take that big bump. I actually believe that they might end up second in the AFC East. Actually, I think they can come second behind the Bills.
Mm-hmm. It's possible.
Then we talk about Caleb. Caleb just got Ben Johnson. I call him Ben J. Ben Johnson, who was Detroit's machine.
Yeah.
And now we're going to see if it was fully him or if it was a collective effort in Detroit. The Detroit people are trying to say that, oh, no, the ideas were in the room. But all the people that know Ben Johnson are like, no, the ideas were for Ben Johnson. Yeah. So we will see. Yeah. I'm very curious to see that because I've also heard things about the Detroit head coach, MCDC, what's his name? Campbell, Dan Campbell.
Dan Campbell, the big guy.
I've heard things about Campbell, and one of the things I hear is that even though he's a tough guy, a rah-rah kind of guy, and drinks ridiculous amounts of coffee, he's very intelligent. Like he's very dialed in, like into the X's and O's and the play calling and all that stuff. I describe it as a Tesla truck, rugged at the outside, computer on the inside,
refined on the inside.
Yeah, exactly. So we'll see if Detroit can keep going, and then we'll also see if. So based on what we know about Ben Johnson, Caleb Williams should be better. No matter what, he should be better, and that's the pressure. So all these 3 guys I've talked about. What is the theme? They should all be better. That's pressure. Yeah. So that's the pressure I'm trying to see if they can sustain or if it will succumb to. Then you talk about Jaden Daniels. Jaden Daniels and JJ have different types of pressure. Jaden Daniels' pressure is you have done way more than was expected of you. Can you maintain this? Can you give the Eagles a fight in the NFC East? The Cowboys are trying to come up. Can you keep them down? That's a lot of pressure for him to hold with a fan base that has had disappointment for so long.
I think that
they're ready for something.
That's the pressure right there.
So
being
that's
in that
his
division
pressure.
And being in this market.
Exactly.
Huge.
So that's his pressure. JJ McCarthy, I've already talked about JJ McCarthy's pressure is coming from injury.
Yeah.
We haven't seen him yet. And then they also let the guy who actually took them to 14 wins go. They let Darnold go. Yeah. I mean, the last 2 games, Darnold was a shell. The pressure got to his face. He didn't look great. Yeah. But they let Darnold go. So now it's your team. Yeah. And everybody knew that part of the reason Aaron Rodgers didn't sign early with Pittsburgh was because he was trying to see what's going on in Minnesota. Yeah. He was trying to go the Favre route. Like, remember Favre did that thing where he went to the Jets, then Minnesota. Yeah. He's trying to do the same thing. And O'Connell was like, I'm going to stick with a young boy. So now let's see what the young boy can do. So that's a lot of pressure. Yeah. So outside of Bo Nix, I think they'll have pressure, and I'm excited to see how they deliver on this pressure. But yeah, it's exciting.
I mean, that's a good analysis. It's going to be interesting to see how they develop. Oh, Aiden O'Connell is a backup now. I forgot he's also a second. Is he the starter? No, because they picked up Geno, right?
Who?
The Raiders.
Who, Aiden O'Connell? Yeah, Aiden O'Connell. He was never really meant to be a franchise guy. He was always meant to be in the background. I have a bold prediction. I predict that Jalen Milroe is going to do to Sam Darnold what Russell Wilson did to Matt Flynn. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, Russell Wilson was a 3rd-round pick who came in and did so well, he took Matt Flynn's job. Yeah. And I think Milroe is going to do. But Milroe is going to be where Darnold might get hurt in the season, and Milroe might take over, and Darnold will never get the job back. Yeah, that's what I think it is. Because one thing about Jalen Milroe is Milroe will do anything to be the star. He will work hard to get the job of being the star. Milroe's problem is maintaining the job, keeping the job as the star. Once he gets the job, then his play starts to kind of dwindle a little bit. But when he's looking at somebody as competition to be the star, Jalen Milroe is the man. Same thing in Alabama when he was in Bama. Yeah. Like fought for the job, got the job, came up with the lank phrase, and then didn't really do much with that. But anyway, it's gonna be interesting.
I think for my take on that, I think a lot of them have the talent and the potential. So I think there's also pressure, even though it's behind the scenes, for how they'll be coached up. I think Milroe is one of those that needs to be coached up a bit to NFL standards. The talent is there. Penix as well. I don't trust that team's coaching, but we'll see. The talent is there. The weapons are there.
Right.
But I hope he succeeds there, and I think Cam Ward is another one. But he looks like he's ready.
I call him the forgotten one.
He looks like he's ready.
It's a double entendre on the fact that he's a number 1 overall pick. That's like nobody really talks about. Yeah. And he's also been forgotten in a sense of like nobody's even talking about him with regards to the league, the season, the rookies. Like he's never mentioned.
He's having a hell of a camp. So,
yeah, that's what I hear. So I'm excited to see
we'll see how it plays out. But then I just hope for him that the coaching, not just quarterback coaching, but overall coaching puts him in a good situation. Because you can have, as we saw with Andrew Luck, you could have everything you need, and then they put you in hell.
Bad offensive line, behind
and then
not great coaching.
After like 4 or 5 years, your body's done. That kind of thing.
Yeah,
or your mentality is warped.
Yeah.
So, but he has it. I think he has it. So
Cam.
Yeah, I think he has it.
We'll see. We'll see. I'm curious to see what happens in Jacksonville. I want to see what the number 2 overall is going to do.
Interesting.
Like the boys going to be working 2 jobs.
Yeah.
For 1 pay.
Yeah, it's an interesting team.
I don't know, man. Travis Hunter is one hell of a talent. He's one hell of an athlete.
Yeah.
I don't know about the two because this is just me just thinking, on a basic fan level. If I'm a coach of the other team, and Travis Hunter came in on offense, he's a wide receiver. I am just jamming him to the floor. Then he comes in on defense. I'm running go routes on him all day. He's tired from just being on the field.
I didn't like the pick. I'll be honest with you.
I think a team can coach him out of a game.
Yeah, I didn't like the pick for
if they
them.
use him as much as
they
want to.
They just had too many. They had so many other issues than just waste. They were number 2, right?
Yeah.
They could have picked something else that was more of a.
He'll be a receiver.
Yeah, he'll be.
You think so?
What do you guys think? This is something I hear from DBs kind of clowning on themselves. Like they talk about how they're just not good enough to be receivers.
Right.
Yeah.
Like the best athlete is a receiver.
It's a receiver.
Yes.
Cornerback is slightly less.
Yeah.
So he'll be a receiver.
Okay, that makes sense. That makes sense that he will be a receiver. And they have mentioned a few times in some of the stuff I've read that they work with him more, I think, on DB just to improve his technique and stuff. Okay. But a receiver,
he's more natural.
I think he's more of a natural receiver. And also on that team, he gets to be wide receiver 2. He doesn't have to be 1 because of Brian Thomas Jr. So he gets to be 2. So he doesn't take all that necessary pressure. The problem is at corner he will be 1.
Right.
And that is where it'll be tough.
I don't think it was he's worthy of that top 5 pick. I just don't think that's a good fit for them. Because they have issues on the line, issues on defense. I mean, he fills both, but with that value of a pick,
We'll see because I'm sure there were a lot of people. You know how I felt when Lamar got drafted. I was super excited, but I'm sure there were a lot of people who were also like, "We don't know what he's gonna do. He can't really throw." Blah blah blah.
He could beast out, and the team could still be trash just because of where he's playing.
That's true.
That's why I don't think it's a good pick for them.
Because
but Eric DeCosta, you know what he says? You pick the best player when it's your turn.
Yeah,
you do.
But I don't think he was the best player.
But when your team has that many holes.
I don't think he was the best player in the sense that I don't know if he was the best receiver, and I don't think he was the best cornerback. So I know you're trying to do a 2-for-1 there, but it's like going to a car dealership. They have Mercedes Benzes and Ferraris, and then you have enough money for a Ferrari, but you're like, how about I take this Ferrari and buy 2 Honda Civics? That's what I feel about it, and I'm not trying to be disrespectful, but I feel like he's either going to be worn down from just overuse, or because that's an NFL playbook we're talking about as well. He has to learn it on
both sides,
because which means on one side he is being used to the most simplistic version of himself, his ability, and other teams can coach him out of it. That's what I'm saying. If he's standing on corner, I know he's playing man. He ain't playing. He didn't practice enough for zone. He's not ready to do zone. I know he's playing man, so I can take him out of a game by running the route the other way. Anyway, that's getting technical, but we'll see. You never know. We might be unbelievably surprised. It might be egg on our faces.
It could be.
I don't know.
I'll hold my hands up if it is. I just feel like, for me, when you're in the dumpster, let me not use the other word. If you're in the dumpster, and you're building a franchise, they have their quarterback, right? That's what they say.
They have a wide receiver one. They have a DN.
I don't even like. You start with a quarterback, and then immediately the next thing you fix is the trenches.
You gotta fix it.
And the trenches is still not there yet. So
they have a pass rusher, so that's something.
Yeah, on the other side, but the secondary is dead. I mean, he fills the secondary,
that's where
but
he
like
comes in.
the offensive side is still an issue as far as the protection because he gets hurt every year.
He gets hurt a lot.
So for me, picking that at 2 is crazy.
I hear you, but it's your division. So
I'm happy for in that sense because he's it works to our advantage if it doesn't work. But
not if he's picking off AR.
Yeah, but if you pick it off AR and the quarterback is still
not doing anything,
it defeats the purpose, you know. So
good for it.
But yeah.
Well, anyway. let me ask you guys. So, what are you expecting from this preseason game? I mean, we're not expecting much as Ravens fans, but
I just want to see. For me,
game.
I'm definitely expecting certain things, or should I say, I'm looking out for certain things. I'm looking out for how everything we've seen in camp. How does it translate against an opponent?
Yeah.
Is it like fool's gold or is it legit? So I'm looking to see how AR is against a formidable opponent. I'm looking to see how the secondary, which is new, which has a lot of good pieces that we neglected last year, looks against another person. And then like with Lou Anarumo, who's our new defensive coordinator, how does that change? Because our defense has been trash the last 3 years because it's like there's been no approach. Like we don't scheme for certain teams. It's just vanilla every week. So
which I thought was interesting that you guys hired Lou, because Lou just came from a job where he got fired because he couldn't get the defense together.
Yeah, there's
so
lack
I was
of talent.
Very curious.
There was lack of talent.
I understand that, but like he still had the pass rusher with the number 1 sacks in the league as well. Anyway, that's besides the
everything
point.
Else was
but like,
subpar.
I understand, but like it's just like if your thing is trying to get a defense together, maybe it's a talent from Cincy they didn't have, and now he has it in Indy.
When he had talent, his defense was good.
They were good.
Yeah,
they were good. They were good. So it bottomed out early last season and just never picked it up.
Yeah.
But,
so
and I would say though, I am players in Cincinnati nicknamed the mad scientist for his complex and strategic defensive schemes.
There you go.
That's what they call it, Lou.
There you go. That's my point. They made it my point right there.
Well,
that's my point. Yeah.
Well, we'll see.
So the players seem to be buying into it. So I just want to see how it translates when it's not with your fellow.
Right. But I am looking forward to something with the joint practice, not necessarily the preseason game, because that's where the ones will play against the ones. And from all indications, our offense hasn't looked very sharp this training camp, this first week so far.
Yeah.
And it always takes Lamar a little bit to get into it.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of forcing of throws. He's trying to build chemistry early. He doesn't want to build chemistry in season.
Of course,
we should a lot of throws.
Yeah.
So he's like, apparently he's trying to get chemistry with D-Hop aggressively and just throwing mad picks. But
it'll get there.
No, I'm not worried about Lamar. Lamar's going to be
it'll
fine. But I want to see what it looks like against another team. So I'm looking forward to hearing the report. They actually should be like banging heads right now.
Yeah, because they landed yesterday. But like and then obviously because we're not going to see much of the ones-on-ones, I want to see certain elements like discipline. How is the discipline translating on the field? Because it wasn't very disciplined last year. Just too many errors and penalties and stuff. So I want to see how that looks now from that scheme. If it's a disciplined team, it goes a long way during the season. And there's depth now, so I want to see how the depth looks. So like I'm also looking to see the backups because now they're significantly better than previous.
Yeah, it looks like from what I've been paying attention, because I pay attention to a little bit of the Colts news as well. Your secondary is actually like one of the strongest parts of your team right now.
It was terrible last year.
They're unbelible apparently.
Yeah, because
Cam Bynum and them.
They put money into it. They finally put money into it. Yeah, Bynum and then Cam Ward. No, not Cam Ward. Travarius Ward.
Travarius Ward.
Yeah. So
and Zaire Franklin, is he back or is he?
He just came back end of last week, so he just started practicing again.
So apparently the day he came back is the day the quarterbacks really struggled.
He was
in the middle,
exactly.
Floor general,
he was in there.
He was giving a hard time to them, so that's interesting.
I'm also curious to see how like second year people like the D end
Latu.
Yeah, how they say he's picked up. So him alongside Buckner, Samson Ekubag is back, and then also the Kwity Paye is contract year.
Yeah.
Contract year. So let's see how that looks with him.
That's gonna be interesting.
Yeah. So the defense, I think, will be better. We were on the floor last year, so
the defense is definitely
it should be better.
Yeah.
Offensively, I just want to see like discipline. Obviously, if AR play,
just run the ball.
Just run
the ball.
You
Let
can't
JT
win.
do some.
We did that last year, and we didn't do us. We need quarterback play. Trust me, because he's like the last 6 or 7 games, he was a top 3 running back.
Yeah.
Running. So like the running was there, we still weren't winning.
Yeah.
So the quarterback has to perform.
You need a quarterback.
So let's see.
So what are your predictions for this year? AFC North and AFC South.
Oh, in order. But it's easy for me. Ravens, Bengals, Steelers, Browns. Yeah. Ravens, Bengals, Steelers, Browns. I think those 3, the 3 will make the playoffs because I still believe in Aaron Rodgers as a quarterback. I'm just gonna put it out there.
You did say that.
Aaron Rodgers,
you did say that.
When he is not, dealing with everything else that is off the football field, is one hell of a quarterback. And I have this philosophy with regards to especially just in life in general, like die on your shield. As a human being, die on your shield. If you're doing what you're supposed to be doing, if you're focused on the thing that brought you here and the thing you're supposed to be doing, and things go bad, fine.
Yeah.
But don't go out because of other things. And that's what is killing me about Aaron Rodgers' career. Whether he's right or wrong on his opinions and everything, like, let's see the football player. That's who we want. We want Aaron Rodgers. We want you to ball. We want to be excited about the 12 and the heavyweight champ and all the signs. That's what we want to be excited about. We want to be fighting with you, and then you're our favorite quarterback, and now we're wondering if, vaccine. No, we don't want that. We just want to watch you play ball. So, and I think Pittsburgh is the perfect place for that. It's a town that has nothing, and I've lived there, and I hate the place because of the Steelers and also because the town sucks. I said it. I'm not a Steelers fan. But there's not a lot going on there, so he can have a low-key life. And I think he needs to stop the McAfee thing and just focus on football. But Tomlin is also the kind of coach that can actually get the best out of a guy like Aaron Rodgers. And right now, they need each other. Both of them, their legacies are on the line. So they need each other to solidify their legacies. And I think that's what gets the Steelers to be third in our division. I
want numbers, wins and losses.
Wins and losses. I think I'm going to say this, and it's a little tongue in cheek, but I think the Ravens go 20-0 this season. Win every game by 30, and then we go home with a Super Bowl, and then we come back next year and do it again. But anyway, but realistically, I think the Ravens can win 11 to 12 games.
I think you lose 3 games max. Without injuries, 3 games.
We've lost games without injuries before, and we have a tendency to lose a game that we shouldn't lose at least once a season. We'll split with the Steelers.
One of the 3.
We'll split with the Browns, so that's 2 losses right there. And then if you sprinkle around the league, we still have to play Buffalo, and we have to play Kansas City.
One of them is a loss.
Exactly. So,
but I think, like I said earlier, where I see you guys as far as the trajectory of teams like Super Bowl contenders, and when they improve upon what they didn't have the previous season, I don't see you losing more than 3 games if everything goes as planned.
Right. But
to your, go ahead.
No, so I'll say 12-5 for us.
It's still a good season.
Yeah,
I just don't think you will lose.
Yeah,
more
I think
than 3
the Bengals go 10-7. The Steelers also go 10-7 or 9-8. But they all 3 kind of squeak their way in.
Yeah.
And the Browns, they just signed another quarterback yesterday. I don't know what they're doing over there. I can't figure it out. But
on the
I call them God's stepchildren because he does not love them.
On the Pittsburgh,
Tyler Huntley.
Yeah.
Oh.
Your former guy.
Yeah.
Or your on your
fun fact
on your Pittsburgh. Let me just address before I lose my phone. On your Pittsburgh theory, if it works out, I think what you're saying is right, but I don't buy into that. Pittsburgh has, there's nothing there because Aaron Rodgers did the same thing in Green Bay. There's nothing there either.
And he bowled.
Yeah, but at the end, he was a cancer. So I'm saying if things don't go his way, I don't even think what's his face.
Tomlin can hold him.
No, because the quarterback is bigger than the coach.
No, Tomlin kept AB on the wraps. He kept Roethlisberger
AB's not a quarterback.
He kept Le'Veon Bell, all these crazy kids.
They're all running backs. A quarterback that is a historical quarterback is bigger than the coach.
That's the thing.
So if he acts up, he is going to get headlines over Tomlin. Right. I don't care what you say because he's a bigger entity. And that bodes cancerously for the team.
Yeah.
Hopefully he doesn't get there. Oh, for your sake he does, because he's in your division. But if he does get there, I think it just falls apart. Honestly, I think we know who he is at this point, because he does this every time.
Gotcha.
But if everything, like, they mesh, everything you're saying, I think is what it is.
We'll see. That's the reality show of the NFL season. The drama. The soap
so it's
opera.
14-3 for me, for you guys.
Okay.
I think you guys go 14-3.
What did I say?
Ceiling
12-5.
Ceiling 14-3. Floor. Is it 13-4? Is that how it works?
Yeah.
Because it's an extra game. Yeah. So
wow. So you're thinking that our ceiling, our floor is just one game?
Yeah.
Wow.
That's kind of how I see you guys.
I feel like you're setting me up.
No.
Gassing me up.
Like, you guys give me regular season. You give me old Colts, old Chargers. You remember the Chargers with LT in them? They were 14-2.
The Rivers Chargers.
Yeah, that's the kind of team I see. Marty Schottenheimer teams. That's what you guys give me now. So I don't expect too much of a drop. Right. Unless, like, God forbid, a crazy injury or something happens, and then that's different. But if the team goes with the heavy hitters, I think you're fine.
I'm a home run hitter. That's what Derrick Henry was saying on the sideline.
I saw that.
I'm a home run hitter.
I saw that.
And then he gets the ball and just. I love watching that guy
I'm
play.
glad he's not in our division anymore. That's all I got to say.
Man, I hated watching him play when he played against him.
To give us headaches.
Oh, man. What do you think the AFC South is going to look like?
As of now, since I haven't seen anything on, like, any context with our team, I still give Houston the lead. I think unless I see something otherwise in between now and the season, I can change. But I think it'll be close. I think they lose 5 or 6 games.
Yeah.
And then if they lose like 5 games, we lose maybe 6 or 7.
Okay.
So
you think you'll finish a winning record? The Colts?
Yeah, this year. I think this year. The team is good enough to win it. Like, the team is good enough to win.
All right.
We had a winning record last year, but it was just terrible. I think we're 9-8, right?
So the Jags Titans, who do you think comes out third?
I think that.
Aha! It's not as easy as you think, huh? Yeah.
You guys were 8-9, not a winning season.
Was 8-9 rather?
Yeah.
Okay.
Close enough, though. Close enough.
As bad as we played.
Yeah, they didn't look.
As bad as we played, and we're still in that same division. I think the roster is significantly
I guess
better.
with a 10-7 winning the division, I see how you can.
Yeah.
You can have aspirations.
Yeah. It's not as drawn out as it looks.
Yeah.
Like.
Funny enough, I think the Jaguars take your division this year.
You do?
I think the Jaguars take it. I think Lawrence finally takes a step up.
For me, it's what the trenches look like for them. If they haven't improved, which I don't think they have significantly, adding talent to the offensive line, and then, like, they're in limbo with the running back now.
Right.
Rookie receiver. I mean, they'll put up numbers passing. Their defense has pass rushers, but that's it. The defense was terrible last year. Terrible, and they haven't done anything.
Right. But if 9-9 was it 10-7, 9-8 wins?
They'll be in the mix.
That's what I'm saying. I think they can.
I think all 4 teams will be in the mix.
Right.
But I just don't see them. I think we are a better team than they are, top to bottom. Well, not top. The quarterback is better on that team, but everything else, I think we're better than them. Houston has the difference maker at this point. Their quarterback. If the line protects him.
CJ can be that guy.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So what are you guys looking forward to next time we talk?
Well, we'll talk about the game.
Yep.
The game
what we saw from our teams.
From our teams. If anything else pops up with Micah's contract, we'll talk about that, or the trade if he gets traded. He's not getting traded.
Yeah.
But they're gonna overpay for him, and we're gonna talk about how foolish they've been once again.
Once again.
Around for the Ravens, just what's their health status, and hopefully there'll be a contract. I'm expecting at least one of these 3 contracts to be signed before week 1. Kyle Hamilton, Tyler Lindenbaum, or Isaiah Likely. At least one of these 3.
Speaking of which,
3 out of 3 will be great, but at least one will be signed before.
Shout out to you for bringing that up. We just extended our left tackle.
Yeah.
one of the steals, Battle of Steel. He was drafted in the 3rd round. He's one of the best left tackles in the league right now. Yeah. He's
Ryman's very good. Ryman's solid.
Very good
solid.
tackle. Very good tackle. So that was good that we extended him.
And then you had a competition on your O-line somewhere?
Yes. Center, which is the 2nd-year center at this point, is winning. And then this is still open for the right guard. Right guard. The old right guard. We lost him to the Vikings, so they signed him to a big contract. Gotcha. So
we can talk more about that next time.
Yeah, we'll see. Obviously, we'll have some context, so they'll play.
Exactly.
So we'll see what it looks like.
Yeah. So we are looking forward to talking about the game a little bit, talking actual ball, talking about what we saw.
Yeah.
And then there'll be other preseason games around the league, so we'll look at other teams as well, what they look. Especially, I'm curious to see what the rookies look like because they're gonna play.
Yeah.
So I'm excited to see that, and then we can talk more about that.
NFL is a soap opera, so I'm sure there'll be stories
there will
popping
be
up.
something.
So,
somebody might get arrested.
Should be cool.
Somebody. There's always something with football. It's
facts.
Fun.
Yeah, facts. So.
But yeah.
All right. What are you looking forward to?
What am I looking forward to?
Yes.
Man, just being on the bench again, man. Being on
the sideline. I'm excited for you on that. I'm excited for you on that.
Tell us more about that, Paulie.
I mean, there's not much to say. This is my 5th season. Liking up the players.
No, sorry, give us a background. I don't think anybody
knows background, right?
What you're talking about. So Paulie is.
So I'm a professional sound recorder. So I record sound for politicians, athletes, all types of stuff. And the Ravens are one of my clients, so I work with them.
Yeah.
So I do all the mic'd up stuff. If you're familiar,
yes,
running up and down the bench, running in the locker room, getting all those speeches. So I get all access to the
I love
Ravens. So it's very fun. The energy is amazing to be down there.
You travel, right? So
I travel with the team.
Home games, away games. You are gone all season.
Yep. Yeah. But it's quick travel. You travel.
Yeah. Okay.
Every weekend though, pretty much, or Thursday, Wednesdays.
Home or away, you're gone.
Yeah.
You got
That's
it, man.
pretty cool.
So very excited for that, man. So excited to maybe sprinkle in some
absolutely. We're here for it. We're here for it. I love it.
I'm interested. So
I love it. Especially him. But I just love that part of the game. It's giving me an inside scoop of how the experience is. Because we'll always see this NFL Network. We see this mic'd up and we see the victory chants in the locker room. You're there, so that experience is golden.
Yeah, shout out. I mean, I'll speak on the production side. I mean, the Ravens production team, kind of best in the league, man.
Yeah, they keep winning Emmys and stuff. I see that.
So talented. I mean, it's cinema what they're putting out.
I love it. Okay.
Like if you watch that Derrick Henry workout video.
I've seen.
You gotta understand what it takes them to get all those shots, put it all together. It's a lot of work. So they work hard. So
awesome.
Yeah, guys.
Sweet.
So
Winning Point Podcast. Episode 1
in the books.
Wrapped.
Love it.
Thanks, guys.
I'm
for tuning in. I'm excited for all season, baby.
Same here.
And we're out.
Go Colts.